right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for My Hero Academia, Season 3, Episode 5. Haha!
Coming off of a pretty hype fight, and now we have some creepy fights.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah, and Toga.
And Toga,
whatever it is she does.
And we also need to know what happened to Aizawa.
Yes.
We need to know what happened with that hand back there, which, after re-examining the episode, I'm far more certain that that's not Ragdoll's hand. Right. You're right. It's a man's hand. It's a male hand. It's a lot larger. Also, there's no, like, glove trappings around it or anything. So I'm guessing it's Shoji's because Dupla Arms guy has the ability to lose hands
and have it not be too much of a deal.
Right, not be the end of the world for him.
Right.
But all the students are out and about in different places and such.
Yep.
And we know that they're looking for Bakugo at least. We know that they have specific people they're okay to kill. And
yes.
Deku is one of them.
Right.
And Deku has so far defeated Red Hulk guy.
Exactly.
But, yeah, the question is, will he get up from this?
Well, right.
Or will Deku be able to be any help, really, now that his injuries are going to, catch up with his pain sensors and stuff.
Exactly. But hopefully we will get some good revelry to help
the dark.
him. In the dark.
Oh, that's true. Because if that was where Shoji was and Tokiyami was there as well,
then
we could be having some serious Dark Shadow Stando power.
That's right.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be amazing.
All right, guys, I'm hyped. So without further ado, let's get into this. Opening.
Hey.
I keep my ideas fresh. Something. Go through, yeah.
I want an episode about that.
Yeah, if they gave that episode kind of backstory bit in 220, we could definitely get a serious flashback-esque episode.
Right. Like it's making me think kind of like the Avatar and the Fire Lord episode, like kind
for
of
sure. For sure.
Bakugo with his
sending neck,
And tactical all might.
Yes. Boom. Yeah. I can't wait.
That's good. And yeah.
Oh, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. I'm ready for it though.
Yeah, it's coming up. Don't worry. And here we go.
My ideals are straight.
That. I love that they had it be a bunch of different colors too. It wasn't just one color. It was you had the yellow, the pink, and the blue.
It was one color for all.
Yeah. And then yep. Oh man, his arm.
Yeah, his arm. It's so screwed up.
I have to get you out of here.
だからこそ撃ったんだ。もしこの野襲に来たヴィランが全員このレベルなら、みんなが危ない。
Yeah.
その上、狙いは僕ら
No, they're definitely after at least one student.
Yeah.
先生やブッシーキャッツに伝えなきゃ。
Get this kid
I
back.
can't really hold you with my arms, so
I think if he
you
hangs
can
on
put
to
out
his
the
neck.
fire.
わかるかい？君のその個性が必要だ。
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome.
That's so cool.
The way you saved me earlier.
Oh, his eye's still doing it. Yeah. Oh, Koda.
Okay.
Yep, get on the back.
Exactly.
Hang around my neck. Yep.
Yep.
And
My
then
legs are still good.
Put the legs around his abdomen.
Yeah. Exactly.
It was kind of simultaneous, but that's so badass. So what happened to Aizawa? Oh, good reflexes.
You think that's gonna work?
You're done, buddy. You're so done.
Yeah.
Oh!
Man, bro.
Purpose number of positions. Yep. Oh! Nice! Oh my gosh!
But the thing is, if he waits for Aizawa to blink, so come on, do this quickly.
What? Wait. Whoa, hold up. What the heck was that?
Whoa.
This is serious.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
so this one made a clone of him. Yeah. Gotcha. He's like Cortopi, kind of, you know, but actual, like, physical, like, gel copies. Aizawa, yeah. This guy's on a high. His adrenaline's just controlling everything. Well, yeah, of course. Oh, the music changed.
Okay.
Oh, Magne's quirk is magnetism. Speaking of predicting, he almost
so
like shouldn't
laughable.
be able to hit her because she can just read his mind and predict how he's going to attack.
I think she can just communicate with him. It's not two-way.
Oh, sure. Nice! Oh my gosh! He destroyed all the blades!
Okay.
This music is so high.
Right. And I'm guessing Bakugo's also gonna know that he's being targeted.
Oh, he's giving them permission. Defend yourselves. Fight.
Oh, nice.
Oh! Nice!
Revelry in the dark.
Oh!
Yes, Tokoyami!
He looked like bloodshot eyes and everything.
Oh, that.
Oh, Bakugo's gonna be so
Villains are
happy.
screwed.
Future heroes.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Hey, Shoji likes taiyaki as well. Apples.
Apples.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be done. Yeah, buddy. Okay, alright.
大丈夫。あいつも死ぬつもりなんかないからボロボロなんだろう。この騒動が終わったら言ってあげてくれ。
Yeah.
できればありがとう。
Put more effort in the thank you part.
君、セグのルイナ伝えてください。ヴィランの狙い、少なくともその一つ。かっちゃんが狙われてる。テレパスお願いします。かっちゃん、誰？待ちなさい、ちょっと。
さっきの地鳴りのような音。
Oh, this is one of their smart members.
言葉。
Oh.
シグルイマスキュラーが。
Oh,
He's like,
muscular.
no way.
小さな子にパワーマンしたってこと。いや、この子。
Oh crap! Oh crap!
手を出すでマグリ。
Whoa! Whoa!
ちょっと何やってんの？石に来たね。
Oh, the Stain fanboy. Yeah, yeah.
つまり英雄を背負うに足る人物。
Nice.
Cool.
Very
その
cool.
石にしたか。
Don't you know you can't just talk in the middle of combat?
Exactly. It is not a free action.
No. Yep.
Oh, Kirishima's gonna go.
Yeah.
バクゴー君だと。
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
容易に突っ込むんじゃない。
What the heck?
デクが何かしたなおい。
Dick. Saying fight then don't fight. Oh my god. What the heck are those things?
They're tentacle powers, and tentacle powers are always OP.
Yeah. Oh, wait. His mouth is the only thing open.
Oh.
Those are teeth. Those are teeth!
Yeah.
Oh!
Okay.
Death row convict escaped.
Wow.
Hey,
we're getting Class B stuff. Right. So it has a source. Yeah. Yeah.
So
take them out?
Yeah, they have gas
the
masks.
gas.
They have gas masks, so... Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, because it has to filter something else, you know?
Okay.
Tetsu Tetsu, the hero of Class B with Kendo.
That's right.
Let's do our best. Yes. Oh. Oh, here we go. Oh. Oh,
no,
it's a good thing that was Tetsu Tetsu.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Who brought guns to a kid's fight? Jeez. Oh, but the
crap.
gas mask. Yeah, this is a problem. And
a school uniform.
Oh, good catch, Tetsu Tetsu. I did not notice that. He does sound like a kid.
Oh, crap.
Oh,
no way.
Dang. Yeah, she's in serious danger here against the guy. Oh my god.
Wow, yeah, okay. Wow.
Oh, jeez.
He's only got 1 or 2 bullets left, though. Or he has to reload. Oh, boy.
Oh, that's his story.
Oh, no.
Oh, this episode has Iron Fist in the title.
Oh, crap.
Oh,
yeah.
crap. Oh, no. Oh! Yes! Well played! Rapid expansion of mass. Deal with that. Well said. Oh, nice! Oh, call him out!
Good
Call
point.
him out! He's not gonna be able to aim accurately because of the...
Well, and... Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh! Yes. You got it! Go, Tetsu Tetsu!
Yes! All right. Awesome!
Awesome!
Yes!
And go beyond that. Plus freaking ultra.
And then he starts gasping for air, like...
For some reason, he's not immune to his own gas.
Right.
An
explanation for the Naruto run. His arms are both shattered.
Whoa, what was that?
That's Dark Shadow.
That's Dark Shadow, yeah. Oh,
was it?
Dang.
Was...
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it becomes more difficult to control.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So it was Shoji's arm then, I guess?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Whoa! Dark Shadow took some roids,
Yeah,
like in this fight. Oh
wow.
my gosh. It almost looked like he was like
strangling Tokoyami.
Like strangling him, like killing Tokoyami.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wow. Okay. Almost makes me wonder why Tokoyami was constantly saying revelry in the dark, because that doesn't look very fun for him. Like,
no, I think that's why he trains in the dark. Because he's getting better at controlling it in the dark.
Like that, yeah, because he trained for the festival, he trained with a bunch of lights around.
Right.
And then here training
so
that he can better control it in the dark.
Yeah, it's basically like he has a pendulum, and if it swings too far one way, it's too weak. If he swings too far one side, it's too strong, and he can't control it. So he's trying to basically extend the control threshold of his pendulum swing. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh. Like, in terms of just, like, manic, crazy things happening all over the place.
Yep.
This is a great episode. Because it feels a lot like the tournament arc where they jumped to a bunch of different 1v1 fights really quickly. Okay. But in this one, they actually spent story time going through each one. There was the display of each quirk because they were new and stuff, so it's awesome. Wow.
Okay. That was incredible.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Right.
What do we want to talk about first?
So I think first, like, we need to make sure that we don't forget about the fact that they did this. They had, because last episode was Deku saving Koda and all that, right? This episode, it wasn't just that Deku was like getting Koda out of there, but it was also the sort of like post-fight rescue recap of Koda basically realizing, oh my gosh, thank you so much, you saved me, and now you're all hurt like this. Well, right, he didn't say that, but just the fact that they spent time doing that.
Right.
Thank you so much, because they could have totally just gone straight to the other fights, and it would have been amazing, because there are a lot of amazing fights, and we need to see what happens with those. But the fact that they spent a little bit of time to sort of have that kind of lingering moment after the hype moment.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, that was fantastic.
That was so good.
Because it's focusing more on what the characters kind of, what this means to them internally.
Exactly, yeah. Not just what happened.
What actually happened.
Yeah.
And the ramifications of it are great in the physical standpoint of, Deku's arms and stuff, and Koda's alive. But it's more than that, because this is building upon Koda's eventual transformation towards being someone that will probably be somewhat like Deku, maybe.
Sure.
Like, not necessarily in the same positive gusto, but someone who will choose to be, the greatest kind of hero
that he can be.
Because of the actions of a single person.
Also, major props to them for giving the villains, like pretty much all of the villains, like some bit of depth this episode. Like, the fact that they had the Stain 2.0 guy, total wannabe
Spinner,
Spinner actually, like, save Deku and be like, no. Stain saved that guy, so he must think he's a true hero, right?
Right.
Like, they're adding division, so it's not just the clear cut good versus evil, villains and heroes kind of a thing. But on each side, there's different people with different opinions, different perspectives.
Right. Magne in particular noticed immediately and deduced quickly that Deku had to have beaten Muscular.
Right.
I've been calling him Red Hulk all this time, but Muscular is a very apropos Quirk name.
And he was like, he needs to die.
And he was on the kill list, so this guy definitely needs to die.
Right.
And that initiated the conflict, but the fact that he wasn't going to hesitate at all.
Yeah. And the fact that he was able to put the 2 and 2 together, kind of a thing, to be like, okay, this is what happened. Like, it shows that he's a fairly smart dude. Because his character design, and from what we can see of his quirk, would not be the kind of thing that would make me think that, because it seems like he just has a really heavy thing that he hits people with.
Right. But the other one that was a little bit kind of interesting to show kind of random depth towards was Mustard. The gas person basically was kind of lauding Tetsu Tetsu, or like, you with your one-track mind, you went to this prestigious school and
so now
stuff.
You think you're all that?
You think you're all that? Yeah.
Right.
Which is funny, because if you think about his quirk, Mustard's, we don't know if he's passively creating it, or if it's just that his quirk is one that damages himself. It knocks himself out. So he's not really one that would get looked at positively in
Sure.
Hero Society, because it's like,
well, and there's the whole thing of him still wearing the school uniform, so that's probably not a thing of like
a disguise or something.
A disguise or whatever.
No.
Like, it's probably because that means something to him somewhat, especially if he would be willing to wear that school uniform when he's on a mission to do villainous things, right?
All someone has to do is recognize the style of school uniform and go, wait, is that school's uniform?
And he's like,
right. Then so much for wearing the mask, right?
Yeah.
In some ways, a lot of people would say that wearing a mask kind of tells you more about a person than actually hiding, than actually showing your face, you know?
Yeah.
So in a lot of ways, that's really unfortunate, because you look at Toga, for instance, and she's a kid, she's a student,
and it looked like she wears a school uniform. Yeah.
But the thing is that her character has this psychotic edge to it that's actually crazy. This kid seems pretty intelligent, Mustard.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to have like any psychotic, mentally broken kind of aspect
and
to
even
him.
with the style of his quirk, it's very much like a mastermind kind of like quirk, because being able to have sensory awareness on that large of a scale
is really good,
is insane, while also having the attack potential and the people
CC
not being
potential.
able to see you and like all that. Like that's a pretty awesome quirk.
It's a pretty awesome quirk, and it seems like he might have just gotten unlucky, or maybe he has some perceived notions about being kind of oppressed by Hero Society or what have you.
Sure.
But anyways, all the minor villains got some kind of added little bit to them. The only one who didn't really get any kind of screen time with audio was Toga. But you notice she has now encountered Asuisuyu and Uraraka.
And they've
Ochako.
been given the okay to fight.
Yes.
More importantly, because apparently you still need that when, someone attacks you.
But did you notice how they were how the stance was? Uraraka was behind Suyu, and Suyu was like, "Don't you dare touch Uraraka." Like,
awesome.
When we think about Uraraka, she didn't really score high in a lot of areas in particular, because her quirk is very like situational.
Sure.
Suyu's is very multi-purpose. Like she can do a whole bunch of a lot of things, and she's really strong.
Well,
like,
and not
in
just
terms of physical strength.
Yeah, she's very strong, but she's also very emotionally strong, which is something that is very helpful in this kind of situation where you've got some psycho person coming after you
with a knife,
and syringes and stuff. So it's like, okay.
No, but I think they were the camera angle focused on the knife.
Oh, okay.
Like she in particular was like,
Right. So
I don't even think it showed her face, actually. It was just like, we see like a bottom angle of like, obviously the canisters coming from behind her back, the knife in the hand, and Suyu's just like this, like don't you dare.
Like it seems like the kind of thing where it's like Suyu kind of also being like, it's gonna be okay, Ochako. Like, it's gonna be fine. We'll just handle this.
We got this.
Cool, and
we'll handle this
calm.
like the Earth beasts that we dealt with in episode 2.
Yep.
Oh man, but there was so many crazy things going on. So we revealed the what was his name? The teeth, the mouth guy. We revealed his.
It was
his
Death
quirk.
Row Escaped.
Yeah, well, no. He had a name, like a villain name, but yes, he was a death row convict that in brackets they put escaped in like all caps, like he's at large, and he said, "Bring me your flesh."
Right.
So he's probably on death row for eating people.
Right.
Now, here's the thing: who did we not see this episode that we thought died last episode?
Yeah,
Ragdoll.
And the fact
we still haven't seen her.
Here's the thing: his teeth can go tentacle powers. So tentacle power teeth, OP, and that means it probably didn't take him very much time to eat Ragdoll.
Yeah, and it might not even be necessarily that he ate all of her. It might be just that he eats specific parts, maybe. Maybe he uses the teeth to kill someone quickly, and then he eats enough of their corpse so that
he could have been the one that was basically like, all right, kill Ragdoll because she'll be a problem, right? And he's like, cool, I got that. He kills her, and then he's like, I've already killed her with my teeth.
Yeah,
I'll just
because remember that part that picture, that frame or whatever, where it was a bunch of blood, and just some stuff all around it. I don't know what that stuff was. I mean,
I think it might have been some of her gear.
It might have been some of her gear and
like her
stuff,
headset,
yeah,
or
like
stuff
cloth
like that,
and stuff. But it was enough blood for someone to have
for a
died.
body.
Yeah. Now the question is this guy like an actual cannibal, or is he just the one that just mercilessly kills you with like 10,000 punctures from his?
I think he might be an actual cannibal.
Like,
because
okay,
like,
what the heck is that Quirk idea? I love it. It's genius. It's so creative. But that's nightmare fuel.
Yeah,
and the way they darkened his face so you couldn't see where it was coming from, these things just came out, and he like crawled with them.
Yeah, that was just no.
On another level, that would mean he's in like constant pain. Like, can you imagine like
Possibly.
the Quirk like being one that would be like like his jaw is like super strong, maybe because it gets a workout, but like maybe he needs some. Oh no!
What?
Maybe he needs to like eat bone or eat something that would like strengthen the enamel of his teeth or something.
I see.
So that
Yeah.
that means him being a cannibal.
It's actually worked into his quirk.
Yeah.
Now
that would be so nasty.
That would be disgusting.
Evolution is a
it's like,
bitch.
all right, this is a fitting one to go up against Bakugo and Todoroki.
Yes, that's true.
Because
they can kill him.
They can kill you. They can kill you dead. And here's the thing. Your teeth are not like, they might help you move around quickly, but if they did decide, we're just going to burn the entire forest with you in it, like, we'll trust that no one else is around.
Come on, like, you know the easy way to get him is they just freeze his teeth and trace it all the way back up to his body.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever had a very cold object pressed against your teeth?
That actually just gave me a shiver.
It is one of the most painful things in existence. Like, it's... I just got that shiver as well. But, like, when you get something really cold that touches your teeth and it touches it violently, it's not fun. Yeah. I haven't had anything extreme in that area, but I've like...
Although they were doing that...
I've had similar things.
They were doing that already, and it didn't seem to be much of a problem, because Todoroki was mainly using his ice to block the teeth tentacles.
He was using it to block it, but
he wasn't like tracing it back up.
He wasn't tracing it back up.
That's a good point.
That's because Todoroki was focused on the person he's got on his back.
That's right. Sure.
Yeah. It's a striking power, and Todoroki is... he knows how to deal with anyone that has some kind of striking power. He's just like, all right, ice in the way, bugger off. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But that is a problem, though, because if they start a second fire here, it would be very hard to put it out, and the villains wouldn't be incentivized to put it out because there's less of them than there are students. Not really as much. I mean, the fire can become self-sustaining and...
Well, yeah, but Todoroki could, like, ice wall it in, potentially, and then, like, they could figure it out.
So what you're saying is that Todoroki basically, like... Oh, wait, no, that's actually a genius idea. Think about this. If they're going after Bakugo, and they're noticing that they're starting to get cornered, right? Todoroki can basically be like, ice wall. Yep, and he just and puts ice all around them, and then he like precision strikes out of it like a tank with fire blast and just blah, blah, blah,
the problem is that Bakugo would be like, I don't want to sit in here Todoroki. He's like, no, just stay here. No, I'm gonna blast out.
That's true.
Stop it.
Bakugo can't be tamed. He can't be controlled.
But they established that the villains were specifically after Bakugo. They have a list of some kind, like some sort of master list.
But
specifically, it's Bakugo.
It's specifically Bakugo, like almost more so than a list, because they mentioned a kill list, but they didn't mention a capture list.
That's true. Right. So and they specifically had that picture of Bakugo chained up after the tournament, with the number one thing in his insane eyes.
Right, and he mentioned the word oppressed by Hero Society. Shigaraki did. If he thinks that Bakugo is being oppressed because of that bit, I think there's something to that, yes. But I also think he's looking at this in the wrong way.
Yeah, like if he like managed to capture Bakugo and bring him before him and be like, yes, you've been oppressed by Hero Society and we will help you, he would have been like, say that again.
well, imagine Bakugo gets captured, right? Because like he doesn't have to be. I could almost see it being a fun twist where Deku saves Bakugo from being captured and Deku gets captured.
Oh, okay.
That would be really intense. And that would make All Might have to have to throw everything on the line to save him.
Now, here's one way that Shigaraki and Bakugo could bond. They both hate Deku.
That is true. But let's throw the scenario out there that Bakugo gets caught. Mm-hmm. He's not gonna join the villains. Like, if anything,
you just see them as being
Bakugo's gonna be like,
of like, I need to beat all of you.
No, I think Bakugo's gonna be like, this place looks like it could use a little bit of demolition work. What do you mean by that? And then he just explodes, and the entire like villain base caves in or something.
I will be known as the #1 hero because I will take out the entire League of Villains myself.
Right. That's totally what Bakugo would do.
I'm gonna kill you all.
He'd be like, so you captured me. That means you can't kill me. And it's like a Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood thing.
It's not a Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood thing. It's a Watchmen thing. I'm not trapped in here with you.
You're trapped in here with me. Yes. Now, let's be fair. All it takes is one kind of crowd control type quirk, and Bakugo's unconscious.
Well, or either crowd control or Shigaraki and teleporting.
Kurogiri,
yeah.
I was like, who are you talking about?
Kurogiri to just be like, this guy seems problematic. We don't want him after all. Like,
they take him
and they teleport him back to the
They're like, sorry,
take him. We don't want him.
Can you imagine Bakugo like, take me back? Yeah. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna blow up your whole base. And Aizo was just like,
that would be so amazing.
Nani?
Yeah. Okay.
They didn't. Shigaraki's like, I'm an idiot. He'll be like, I should have taken that Tokoyami bird kid. That quirk is the kind of thing we could have used for manipulating and stuff. But on a serious note, let's say they take Deku. I seriously think that's on the table.
That would be amazing.
We know that the opening is kind of referencing that there will be a all for one and one for all fight at some point in the future.
Yep.
But I think the thing that would instigate that the most is if Deku was actually taken.
Yeah, because here's the thing.
He's injured.
It's not just an All Might versus All for One. Mm-hmm. It's what will give All Might that look on his face that he had in the opening.
Right.
Now, that could be potentially from anything of, like people being in danger and All for One, causing trouble and stuff. But what would specifically, Deku being captured, that would definitely
I think any of the students being tortured would do it.
Yeah, that's
and I don't
true.
think it really matters that it would be Deku. I think that if Deku was captured and he was left in the same state that he was, that would feel a little bit in character of the villains. But the way I could see it is, let's say a student is captured, and they go to work on them, basically torturing them for whatever reason. There's all kinds of things they could gain out of Deku or Bakugo, but if All Might came in with the intent to kill just anything that stood in his way, I think it would be something like that. I think that this encounter in the woods shows us that the villains are willing to kill the kids. They might not be
and that's
able
important to show.
It is important to show the fact that they were shooting bullets at Tetsu Tetsu. They got lucky there.
Yep, and
the fact that Kendo didn't get shot at is a little bit lucky as well.
And the fact that Spinner had saved Deku from the other guy, the big
Magni.
Magni, yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Big sis. I think it was someone in the Discord in particular was trying to let us know that pronouns are a little bit ambiguous with Magni, because it might not be as straight as far as it goes gender wise, but I'm not sure how that goes. Y'all can let us know in the comments and the mods can pass it on. But Magni seemed to think he or she could kill Deku. But Tiger was quick on the draw.
yes, that was great. They had them be talking and be like, "How could you do that?" And then it's like whack, and get them both, and they're like, "Okay, that's that helps things.
Yeah, Spinner having that little bit of, no, this is not Stain's way, essentially. I think that's basically proof that he's going to be one of the casualties, essentially, for the villains.
Sure.
Along with
whether
Magni.
by the heroes or the villains.
Well, no, it just along with Magni.
Gotcha.
That there will be some villains that get captured, and they might be able to extract some information out of them. One of the things I'm really excited for is, how the police are kind of... we have one police officer who we're not the biggest fan of, Wolf, because he was the dispenser of the rules. He's not a horrible guy or anything. He just happened to be the unfortunate one to exposit the rules. But we also have Sakauchi, I think.
Right.
He's All Might's buddy.
Yep.
I would love to see that Sakauchi has like some kind of like detective quirk, and he can ask people questions, like a number of questions, or something, and they like have to answer them.
Right, or he can just tell if they're lying.
Or he can just tell if they're lying, Or he has a partner that has a quirk that,
one of us, one of them.
No. I'm saying that, like, that kind of a thing would be really cool if they captured villains and had here's a very practical thing.
Way to get, like...
useful information
morally interrogate them.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, the cops aren't going to go and torture the villains. If anything, I could see the cops just being like, okay, cool, you're in the slammer for the Quirk jail, or something like that, where we can actually keep you, locked up. But I think we've almost now confirmed it that, Ragdoll wasn't in this episode. I just keep going back to that.
Did.
She's,
Yep.
Yeah, I know that. I was talking with Rop and I was like, I know that Ragdoll's technically not given the explicit death. There's no body, there's no head in a glass case, anywhere. And he was laughing at that, and he's like, that's kind of a shonen rule, but you have to remember that, like, just because a body, wasn't shown, they might not be willing to show certain levels of violence in the show. So it's like, what kind of
Right, at what point do we say that bit that they showed was them saying Ragdoll is in fact dead?
Right.
As opposed to...
Because no one's died on this show. Like, no one has actually been shown to be killed by another character that was on this show.
Yeah.
The closest thing we actually got to it was All Might pummeling the top half of All for One's head in.
Yes.
And that didn't kill him.
Nope.
So I know that's a very special circumstance here, but...
And like they mentioned Koda's parents being killed, and but
we didn't actually see it.
Right. I think we saw some of
blood.
We saw some of the blood.
We saw a pool of blood, and we saw the bodies in the hospital kind of mats, essentially. Exactly. But even then, those were two separate scenes.
Yes.
And that actually seems like what they did with Ragdoll. They didn't show the bodies, or they did show the body of Ragdoll, but they showed a big pool of blood.
Yes.
When mentioning Ragdoll.
Right.
Like, if you look at the context of the previous episode, they're talking about Ragdoll, and then they cut really quickly to this blood everywhere kind of thing, and it's like, wait, are they saying?
Yeah. Now here's one thing that I'm a little bit curious about. So now that we have officially gotten our first glimpse into Revelry in the Dark, which by the way, I love that picture of Shoji basically holding Deku on his back in like a backpack and just being like, okay, I'm in like wilderness survival mode. You know, there's a scary monster out in the woods.
It's my friend.
And the way that they said that Tokiyami lost control when a villain attacked, it's almost like they're saying the villain is gone.
Right. Well, that was the villain. It was the mouth guy, I think.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I think that was the point, was that he had a hand near him. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Hand? Yeah, and that was probably Shoji's, and he got that.
He probably took his teeth out and Shoji was like, no! And, it cut off one of the hands.
And then at that point, the teeth guy was just like, I'm gonna not fight this thing. Like,
oh, maybe that's what happened. Shoji was like, he blocked an attack. But
and maybe then Tokiyami's like, you hurt my friend or something.
Well, no, maybe Tokoyami did get hurt.
Oh, sure.
And Dark Shadow is one that, how stands get hurt when their users get hurt.
Right.
Maybe in this case, the combination of Tokoyami getting hurt and it being pitch black outside is just that's the perfect setting for it to go nuts.
And because like
oh
now,
my gosh,
now they're making
it so good,
it looks so crazy,
it looks so
awesome.
good.
and now the way they have it set up, it's kind of like this thing of where Deku and Shoji, they're not worried about villains now. They're in a survival thing against Dark Shadow.
Well, this is another thing. We've never had this kind of instance before, but this is the perfect opportunity for Deku to save someone, even though he doesn't have to.
It could also, here's another thing. They brought back the Bakugo being chained up at the end of the tournament, which, since it was done kind of in a comical way, when it happened, I wasn't sure if they were going to take it as seriously as you would think they would when if something like that were to happen.
So now.
But they seem to be doing so now with the picture. So they could also be showing this is possibly why people end up becoming villains, because maybe they start out like Tokoyami and then something bad happens with their quirk that maybe they weren't intending, and then all of a sudden and they hurt someone, and then now that people just assume that they're villains, right?
Or it's not necessarily that people assume they're villains. They just go, you know, you need to fix this. Basically, you're responsible for the damage you caused.
Right.
For improper use of your quirk. So you either serve like community service time, or if you're not a minor, you serve some jail time or something like that.
Sure. Yeah.
And then the people are like, but wait, that's not right. Maybe there was a good reason for them to do that.
Exactly.
And then it's like, well, wait, why do heroes particularly have the license to use it?
Yep.
And they use it for violence, and then they get into some thinking of like, oh, heroes are what's wrong with Quirk society. Sure. They're a band-aid solution on the whole. We should be able to all use our quirks freely kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, I think the reason why these laws exist to be maybe a little bit extreme in some instances is because people like the mouth teeth guy exist, where maybe they need to consume like bone marrow. Or like actual teeth. Maybe they actually need to like consume the teeth of people.
Also, there could be something where it has to do with like, let's say someone has a quirk and it's something like, say, Uraraka, where they could defend against themselves pretty easily. They touch the person, they float, and they just sort of throw them up into the air, and now they can't hurt you, right?
And then that person leaves the atmosphere.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, right. But the idea is that what if you instead had something like, say, the teeth guy, where it's like, he defends himself and it impales the person 27 times, you know.
Sure.
And it's like, that person's dead. They were mugging you, and now they are dead, and dead. Like,
or just Stain. Like, how did Stain discover what his quirk was?
Exactly, right.
He had to drink someone else's blood.
Yeah.
In what context has anyone ever had to drink someone else's blood?
No. Here's what it probably was. Since it works on his own blood, it was probably that he, like, you know, because, again...
does work on his own blood?
Well, because the whole thing of, like, one of his broken ribs punctured a lung or something like that, you know, and that caused him to, you know, ingest some of his own blood, and then he paralyzed himself, right? So
I think
that could have been what it was.
I think that was also more of a thing of, like, the crap was kicked out of him, and the lung caused him actually to pass out. Like, he just... Well,
okay.
actually...
No, I think they were saying that it was because of his quirk.
But then, if it punctured a lung... Where in the digestive tract, Jacob, are you?
I don't know. I don't know.
It doesn't work in that way. So,
well, hey, quirks aren't always like, don't hold up to like in-depth scientific analysis.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so this is a very good point, though. Back to the thing of this is how villains are potentially made. Bakugo, let's play devil's advocate on our own theory. What if Bakugo does kind of resent, not necessarily heroes,
but Deku,
but he resents people like Deku.
Sure,
he resents people that basically are like phonies in a way,
or he sees it like as this being the way to finally prove that he is the best, because this is a way he can actually compete against the heroes, you know, as much as he wants.
Yeah, that's the thing though, because I think that's why it's really hard to play devil's advocate with this theory, is because every time we come up to it, Bakugo had the, you know, the origin, the versus All Might, you know, fight thing there.
Yeah.
And he has since he was a little kid been told and wished and desired to be a hero.
Right, because heroes are the ones who always win.
Heroes are the ones that always win. Villains they lose.
They lose, yeah.
Villains lose.
And that's why it would be so amazing to hear a conversation between him and Shigaraki.
I agree, yeah.
Because he would...
Yeah.
Shigaraki would see just how little Bakugo thinks of him.
Yeah.
Like, now maybe that would change if he's like, okay, time to meet Pops. You know,
or that's a good point.
All for one.
Do you remember Bakugo at USJ? He manhandled Kurogiri.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he completely manhandled him as a kid. Now, here's the thing. Shigaraki and Kurogiri, their quirks are very dangerous. They could do serious stuff to Bakugo, of course.
They could kill him, but he could kill them
for
too.
Bakugo's like confidence and ego, I don't think he would even listen to them.
Nope.
I think Bakugo would actually look almost a little bit stupid in some ways because he's not stupid. Trust me, I know that he's not.
He's very he's cunning.
Well, no, like he is intelligent.
Yeah,
he beat. He beat everyone but Deku, Ida, Momo on the intelligence, the test thing.
Right.
Or wait, hold on. Was he 3 or 4? Anyways,
he might have been 5.
The point is,
sure, but yeah.
Bakugo's quirk usage, his like book knowledge, his battle tactics,
right, and his
basically everything.
Single, like focused
will
drive.
Yeah, his willpower.
Yeah.
All of those things are A category, like close to S tier in almost everything, except like his, just blunt kind of ego kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if anything, come back to Bakugo in like a year. If Bakugo has had like some serious like downward spiral stuff, maybe.
But even then, that makes him just grit his teeth harder,
right? Exactly,
and hold the metal in between his teeth for a full 24 hours or however long it took for them to get back into class. Like,
right? They didn't see what happened after the tournament and the cameras went off. He like stewed in the fact that he lost. His like the whole second half of season 2 was him just salty at Todoroki and Deku especially.
Here's the way I could see them turning Bakugo, and this is the only way I could really see it happening.
Yeah.
Is they take him before All For One. All For One doesn't take his quirk, but he says, You think heroes always win? All Might couldn't defeat me, and that was with 2 of them.
Or he plays like some kind of a long game thing, and he's like, watch me. And he basically puts Bakugo in some kind of like some kind of control.
He's like, I'll show you that heroes don't win.
Yeah, and then he just utterly like wrecks people, and Bakugo watches and sees what, true power is.
Exactly.
Unlimited power! I literally can see All For One having a Palpatine unlimited power. Not necessarily with the evil like face, but he literally looks like kind of a a pseudo Sith kind of Darth Bane, Darth Vader kind of
Darth Bane and or Malik was the other one that he made me think of because of the whole like idea of he has kind of like the
except it's going inverted. Into his face. Instead of having the bottom half gone, it's the top half gone.
Right. But
But yeah, that would be crazy. Bakugo encountering the upper hierarchy of villains beyond Shigaraki and Kurogiri. Like All For One would be amazing.
He shows up in Kurogiri's like, you again. He's like, hey, do you want some more?
Or it's more of a thing of like they get a message and All For One's like, bring him to me. And Kurogiri's like, I don't want to go there. Last time I was there.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, last time I was there. No. Because remember, we had our theory about how Kurogiri's literally the only person that could, ruin All For One's plans.
Right.
And it's like, I could see Kurogiri being like, no. We made a deal. I don't go back to All For One.
Well, okay, now here's another thing to think about. This must not be super important, this battle that's happening here, and they kind of acknowledge that with the whole talk with Shigaraki.
Oh, because it's here to put a crack in Hero Society.
Because if they really wanted to grab Bakugo, they would have had Kurogiri they would have someone be like, oh, I found him, Kurogiri, my spot, portal him over.
Well, they have to find him.
Right, but the teeth guy knows where they are.
I don't think the teeth guy is like... anywhere near the like organizer communication level.
They're just like, just go here and do stuff.
I think that's literally it. Mustard, the teeth guy, and Dobby. Dobby's he's the leader and stuff, but those three are there to cause like big distractions and big problems.
Okay.
And the other ones, Spinner and Magni, they're there basically to like kill specific people.
Sure.
They have quirks that are very useful for like,
and that's probably what
just general combat. Muscular as well, yeah. But
he just got unlucky.
We saw a copy. What was his name?
Yeah.
Twin?
Major props for doing that, because that was a way to make what happened before
with Dobby.
Not make it be backpedaling, not make it be so that Dobby was able to like beat Aizawa because he was stupid in how he went up against Aizawa. Let's be real.
That's the thing, though. He was able to do that because he was
he's with
copy.
the other guy. Exactly.
Now, I think I've got the quirk wrong. The quirk name was not copy. It was some kind of clone
mimic
or mimic,
something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really cool quirk.
Yes.
And that's the kind of thing of one of the characters that's not in the front lines.
Yes.
Because there were more of them.
Yeah.
And I want to see more supporting role villains like that.
Sure.
I want to see more that are using like their quirks in conjunction with other people's quirks.
Yep.
And we're like, no, you don't have to fight. You just have to make dummies of it. Oh, wait a minute.
What?
What if Spinner and Magni are dummies as well? I highly doubt it.
I don't think it. I think
Spinner in particular would have problems with being made into a copy. He'd be like, no, Stain would actually go in there and sacrifice his own life and limb for the good of his cause.
Well, and here's the thing. I think the way that they make it so that quirk isn't overpowered is that he can only do one at a time.
Oh, genius.
Because otherwise, why wouldn't they have sent in 3 Dobbies to take care of Aizawa?
Good point.
Good point.
But the craziest thing about the copy thing, the problem, is that the copy used the quirk.
Right, exactly. That's why it's
original
so OP,
person.
And that's why we can't have more than one. Because if there were more than one,
I'm surprised All For One didn't take that quirk from
to just copy himself. Yeah, that's one of those things.
Maybe he can't copy himself.
And there could sure, absolutely. There could also be something where potentially I was going to say maybe
we haven't thought about what the potential drawbacks are beyond just the one of each. There's probably some kind of stamina required.
And that's probably a way that they can make it so that there's reasons for there to be these pawns that All For One still needs as pawns because he wouldn't actually want to just take their quirk, right? Like Kurogiri or
Dobby. Dobby's a great example of that. Having a really strong fire quirk is like, oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
But I think All For One is the kind of person who's like, I've seen 50 fire quirks in my day. Yeah. I don't need
yours
another
isn't
one.
Anything special.
Yeah, yours isn't anything special. He's like, I'm into the kind of thing that dissolves matter.
Yeah, he's like, fire's cool, but fission, nuclear fission, that's cool.
That's cooler. That's actually a really good point. Because these people are pawns, not pawns, but they're like low tier Phantom Troop members, basically.
No, I mean, let's be real. They're pawns. This is a chess game.
No, they're pawns. They're pawns, but some of them are better pawns than others.
Sure,
that means that
there might be a couple bishops in there or something.
Yeah, but that means that their quirks are at the very least not as good as whatever All For One has.
Right.
Do you realize
which
what
is a
this
great
means,
way to build
guys?
up All For One because
All For One probably is like, let's be real. I don't need more than 150 or 200 quirks. Like after that, it's pretty redundant.
Yeah.
But he's probably like, your quirk is actually pretty good. Shigaraki, you didn't tell me about this person's quirk. And he just dissolves them, just takes them and they become
just a vegetable.
Yeah, because maybe he does an exchange like immediately.
Sure, he turns them into a Nomu after he takes the good quirk.
Right, like he takes the good quirk and they're like, and then he like gives them one of his like dump quirks and he's like, yeah, have another energy absorption. I've got like 5 of those,
He's like going through like
a catalog.
A catalog of like all the stuff he's collected. He's like, well, we got about 23 of these. Yeah, you can have one of those. Like,
where was the one that, like...
He keeps a notebook because he can't keep track of it all in his head. He forgets about the quirks that he's taken.
That too, but I could also see him being like, which one of these had, like, the lowest, like, weakness counter, and which was the one that, like, made me feel all ooh when I used it, you know? like these things all do basically the same thing, but one of them is just slightly better.
If they wanted,
he's a min-maxing RPG character.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where Shigaraki got his whole RPG thing.
If they wanted to do some comedy bit with All For One in like some OVA or something, like
All For One, going through a catalog of his quirks.
like be careful with something like that because you don't want to actually like make him seem less serious and like terrifying.
They'll never do that.
That would be so amazing.
That's like for when the series is over. Like
it'd be like one of those after credits things when they're like talking about like, the next episode.
You know, if you want like writers, you know, ideas and stuff. You know,
I mean,
our email address is open.
That would just be so hilarious, though. Like, because if I got something like All For One and I was going to go all like super villain thing or whatever, like
you'd lose track of the quirks that you have.
Lose track of the quirks, right? And in order to properly min-max, you need to take inventory, right?
Yep. All right, we are way off track with regards to discussion and stuff. This was a very good episode.
Very good.
The manic, crazy, high intensity energy
with the meaningful like character moments in there too.
With the meaningful character moments was just fantastic.
And then that cliffhanger.
But
boy.
Final thing, the music fits so well.
Yes.
It fits so well.
It really does.
I just have to say that.
Major props.
Also, just props to Aizawa for just quickly disassembling the threat in the faux Dabi. That was
just arm broken, you know.
I mean, he might have been dislocating them because it's pretty hard to actually like break the bone, you know.
Sure. Either way,
that's great. Yeah. I loved that he was just like, all right.
Did you forget I'm Batman?
What did he say? Names, positions, and names, number, and locations, or something like
names,
that.
Numbers, and location. Yeah.
He's like, why would I do that? Well, because of this. That's the thing, though. I think Dabi
felt the pain.
Sure. So there is some kind of a connection that needs to be established in the...
And again, great limitation for an insanely powerful quirk.
Right.
Yeah.
He makes a copy and it's like, does this copy have a soul?
Stop that. Yeah.
Nani?
No. None of that.
You're blowing my mind, Luke. All right, guys. This is a fantastic episode. If you want to see the full-length reaction to our reactions for MHA, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. And you can also get on our Discord and chat with us after we watch the episode and get more and more into the discussion there. Spoiler-free, of course.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.